Hello, everybody from the mainland. We are back on the mainland. We just returned from Hawaii and we have been on the road ever since. We woke up this morning at 4 o'clock, and would you believe that the Butler family got up to say goodbye to us? The kids got up, gave us a nice send off, and Danielle Butler actually drove us to the airport that early this morning so that she could get to work on time. So that was really awesome, and we had a great flight. We were in a big Airbus, and we got lots of naps because we were sleepy. We had 4 nights in Hawaii. None of us had ever been to Hawaii before, so just being there was a really great experience for us. And the other thing that we collectively said was a really cool experience was the fact that we weren't there as tourists. We were there staying with local people who do local things, and we got really just tours of the island that we would have never had before. And we were taking places and participating in things. Like, for example, one of our favorite things, we all agreed, was going to one of the beaches and doing basically a local luau, which is just a gathering of local friends and family. And this is what they say they do every weekend. They set up little canopies, they bring a grill, coolers, food. There was a paddleboard that I tried that I'd never done before. That was hilarious because I did it, Chelsea did it, Cassie did it, and we had the GoPro out in the water with us, and the kids were out there, and Danielle and Joe, her boyfriend. And so it was just a lot of fun, a lot of laughter, so much beauty. Oh my gosh, Hawaii is absolutely gorgeous. So we were going to go to one of those commercial luaus, and we said, no, we would rather just go hang on the beach and do what the locals do in the way that they do it. And we got to try all this different fresh seafood, like spicy tuna and a spicy crab, local Hawaiian food. They had boiled peanuts that I've never tried before. So a lot of it was new. But one of the things that the girls and I were just saying would be great for us to talk to you about today is some of the things that we did on the island that we have never done before, and what it was like for us to get outside of that comfort zone and to try something new. So we each are going to discuss one thing we've never done before. We did it all together, and we did it with the people we're talking about. And each thing that we're talking about, none of us have done before. So we just naturally kind of picked up on one that stood out to us. So Chelsea, let me start with you. What was it that you've never done before, and how did you get outside of your comfort zone with it?
That would be jumping off a cliff into the water. I'd never done that before. It was exciting. It was great because we really didn't have much time to think about it beforehand. It was like, are we going to do this? Yeah, okay. So we jumped out the car and we ran over there. We ran up the rock, sort of.
Sort of, exactly.
And we got up there and decided, as soon as we got up there, I'm looking down, I'm going, oh my gosh, this is a lot bigger than it looks. And it kind of freaked me out a little bit, thinking that, I don't know if this is deep enough, or, everybody else is doing it, but it was definitely nerve-wracking.
Well, yeah, and Cassie, we had her in the front. She's like, I'll go first. And then she was all nervous, and we're like, we're going to push you. You need to go, right?
Yeah, I suggested we just all jump together. But it was awesome because when it was, watching Cassie, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can totally do this. And, what was funny is I don't know, I'm thinking back, and I don't remember, or in the moment I was thinking that it wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be, and I wasn't feeling like the fear of panic as I thought I would. And looking back at that, I think that it has to do with just the fact that I have, extended my comfort zone a lot, especially on this trip. And so, that was a big jump. And yet I still did it without really freaking out, or I guess whatever trying to back out. So
I did have a doom moment or a mom moment when I was like, no, we're not jumping together. I've done that too many times in my past, and fists have hit lips and teeth have gone through other people's cheeks and all that good stuff. So I definitely had a mom moment there and said, let's just do this singularly. How did you feel when you came out of the water, Chelsea?
invigorated. It was amazing. Gosh, it was such a great feeling to hit first of all, to take that step and then to hit the water and come up, and it was beautiful. And then turn around and watch you go.
Yeah, you guys were laughing at me. Tell them why. And of course, this is posted on our YouTube channel. So if you want to see a video of us jumping off of this cliff, just go to YouTube and search Motivate Me with Lynette Renda and subscribe to our channel there.
So we looked, and she's sitting there talking away with this girl that was talking to her about the podcast, or she was talking to her about the podcast, and she was like, oh, well, how do I get a hold of you? And she's like, oh, Motivate Me with Lynette Renda. And she jumps, and she is waving her hands in the air and her feet, and she does a little scream.
It was my frog leap. I had frog legs. I was trying to stay straight. I'm like, if I land on my butt or my stomach, this is going to really be a problem. And my butt hurt. Didn't yours, Cass?
Yep.
We came out of the water saying our butt cheeks hurt. Okay, so that was a really cool experience. I'd never done that before. I always wanted to. The water was so blue and gorgeous. And it was definitely Chelsea who made the call that said, nope, pull over, we're doing it now. And I am glad she did, because we were going to be on the other side of the island after that point. So it was a cool move. And Chelsea's been looking out for us on the get something done you've never done before as many times as you possibly can front. So that was really awesome. So Cassie, what did you want to talk about?
The hike to the waterfall. That was really beautiful and muddy, and it was like we were in Jurassic Park.
Well, and didn't they say that Jurassic Park, parts of it were filmed there?
Oh, yeah, I didn't know it was at that spot. I didn't know there was places in Hawaii that it was filmed at. I didn't know it was that exact spot.
Yeah, it was that exact spot. And when we first started the hike and the mud was getting thicker, tell everybody what's been going on with your sneakers.
I got these sneakers. They're just too big. They're too big. I bought a cheap pair of shoes at some retail store, and really cheap, and they're a little too big. They slip off my feet, and I'm just getting them really messed up on this trip because I don't really care about them, which has been nice, I guess, to have just a pair of shoes to do that in.
But it was funny because she got new sneakers. She needed new sneakers, so she finally gets them. You've been wearing them for a couple weeks. But we start this hike out and had no idea that when she says we were walking in mud, how many inches deep, Cassie, do you think that mud was?
It was at least 5 inches deep.
Yeah, it was crazy deep. And so I just remember looking back at Cassie and saying, it's a good thing you don't really like those sneakers.
Yep. Don't really like them.
But you have new ones coming, and the irony in that is once we got back and we stuck your sneakers in the washing machine, what happened?
They shrunk, and now they fit me. So I don't need new shoes, but I have some on the way.
It's been a pretty funny ordeal on that front. So envision this, everybody. We are walking through stalks of bamboo and up and down these really steep, really slippery, muddy hills, and then we get to the rocks, and I mean gorgeous, just gorgeous, and little waterfalls that are really stemming from the giant one that we were walking to. And all this time Cassie is carrying her camera and wearing her big heavy camera bag. It's a knapsack. So, and she's basically fully dressed and it was hot, and she's got long pants on, and she's got her white sneakers that are now all covered in mud. We were all covered in mud, but we get up there, and what'd you think when you saw that waterfall, Cassie?
It was amazing. It just kept going up and up and up. It was almost impossible to see the top of it, and the water was ice cold and clear, and it was awesome.
And we all got in it.
Yep, we all got in it. We all got in the waterfall and floated around a little bit and chilled out, and it was great. It was exactly what you needed after that kind of hike.
Yep, and then we moseyed back. And what about that guy with the drone camera?
Oh yeah, there was a young dude with the drone camera.
And he sent it up to the top. I wonder how that came out.
Sure, it's pretty rad.
Yeah, and he could see what it was shooting, of course, while he was maneuvering it, so that was really neat. Okay, so what I want to talk about is that I interviewed somebody in the Navy, which I thought was pretty cool. And he is a Master Chief in the Navy. He's been in the Navy for 30 years. He's actually retiring September 1st. And the naval base is right around the corner from the Pearl Harbor Memorial. So we were on the Pearl Harbor Naval Base. We got on base and we worked out with Master Chief Simpson and the Navy military members who come out on Fridays to work out with him. So there had to be over 100 of them, I would say, because I think there had to be, I don't know, I think there had to be close to 100 people, I'd say. But again, you can look at a picture of this if you go onto our Facebook page, Motivate Me with Lynette Renda. There's a picture of my team with their team. So that was really cool. I had never worked out in that type of setting before, and there was definitely some pressure to keep up. And I'm no spring chicken. I'm no size 2. But I felt good. I felt like, I was able to pull my weight, and the workout was great. And the Butler family, their whole clan came with us. And Cassie and Chelsea, super happy to get a workout in. So, of course, on the road, some days we eat better than others. Some days we get to exercise. Some days we don't. So we all walked away feeling good. But that was a huge day. And we've been talking a lot about how we have some really big days that we do. So, for example, we needed to be out of the house before 4:45 that morning. We went. We worked out. Then we interviewed the Master Chief. And then we went to the Pearl Harbor Memorial. What did we do after the memorial that day, girls?
We went to lunch and had some authentic Hawaiian food.
That's right. I said, get the pounds off, put the pounds back on. But we had some Loco Moco was what we had, which was really cool. Except for Cassie. She had a veggie burrito. But we had Loco Moco is like oh no, you didn't have a veggie burrito that day. You had veggies and rice. Loco Moco is like it's like a hamburger pressed down, put over rice, and then brown gravy over it with an egg or two on top. And it was delicious. And I always try to, sample the local food wherever we go. So the best that I can. So we got to do a lot of that in Hawaii, obviously. It was pretty cool. After we went to lunch, we did what?
We went to the temple.
Ooh, talk about that temple. You had a field day taking pictures there. What do you remember about the temple, Cassie?
I remember the black swans and the koi fish and the Buddha in the temple. And then you had to bang this big gong to get in there before you entered. You had to do that. And it was just beautiful. It was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you're in Hawaii. The sky's like the bluest you've ever seen. The grass is green. It's really green. It's really colorful, and it was just rolling hills, and it was just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and it's what most people don't know. A woman who worked there told us, because she spoke with us for a little bit on the camera, and she said that really it's a crematorium. So if you looked around too, it was also a burial ground, and we did an interview there. So that was a pretty special interview that aired already, which was Lee J. That was last week. So we aired her interview, and that's where we were at the temple. So after we left the temple, what did we do after that?
We went to the beach.
We went to the beach, which was hysterical because Danielle was giving us this awesome tour of the island, and it's kind of like, you know, when you're a kid in a candy shop and you get to look at all the great things, but you can't touch them, you can't eat them. So we're getting this great tour, and it's so beautiful out, and we're like, that water is beautiful, can you put me in it, please? Put me in.
All day, you know, we've been like, you know, working our butts off, been there. This is all we've been wanting to do, is go to the beach when we go to Hawaii. And then we're on our way to the beach, and we just keep passing beaches up, beaches up, beaches up. And we're just like, think you passed it back there. That one looked pretty good. But we kept going.
Until we hit traffic. And then she was like, should we sit in this traffic? Because I'm trying to take you to this beach around the corner. Or should we just get out here? And we're all like, nope, this is good. This is good. Let's just get out. Put us in it.
And I see why that she was trying to get us to the beach that she was trying to get us to. Because that was the beach with the cliff for us to go jump off of. And it was even more beautiful than the beach that we were already at. That we were already, like, in awe of. But it, you know, the further down you got the beach, that part of the beach, it was even more beautiful than where we were. I see why she was trying to get us there so badly, but at that point I didn't even care. I was just like, get me in the water, let's get out of this truck and just chill.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And that rock that we jumped off of is if you've ever seen pictures of Hawaii, that rock is the one that's often used for postcards and advertisements. It's a famous rock. So she wanted us to be at that gorgeous beach, which we did end up just making a quick stop at. So at least we saw it, and we did get to swim in it. But we loved where we were. We had a great time. So Chelsea, you know, you were talking about something else before we started recording this interview, and that was about on those days when we get to the end of the day and we've done so much, right? And we feel like we can't do any more. What were you saying about that?
Well, you know, there's been days on this trip where we have gone early morning, you know, like the morning we went on and jumped off the cliff. I mean, we got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. We were out on the road by 4:45. We were driving in the middle of the night, pretty much, it felt like. Went and worked out with the Navy, had this full day that we were just talking about, and then, you know, by the time the end of the day, it was like, oh my gosh, I just want to go home. I'm done.
And after that, we went shopping and had snow cones and watched the sunset, right? That's what we did after we were at the beach that day.
Yeah. So, and that's another part where we were like, I don't know if I really care to have it or not. But, you know, what I realized, and I was talking to Cassie about earlier this weekend, was just how, you know, we were going, and some of the most amazing times we had was when we were done. We were like, you know what, I'm good. I could totally just go home and sleep. And, you know, we pushed through, and those ended up being the most amazing experiences, and probably the ones that I will remember for as long as I live. I mean, they were amazing, like jumping off the cliff. Even the shaved ice was so delicious with the ice cream in it. That was so good.
It was delicious and hilarious. How hard were we laughing? Sitting in the back of a pickup truck, my coconut falling all over the place. That picture that you took of me, I am crying laughing.
Yeah, they were. It was a little messy, so, but it was fun. It was hilarious. It was great laughs. I mean, gorgeous sunsets. I mean, even though we got in late, like, we all had laughs. We were having a good time, and we were all up early the next morning, ready to go again. So
that was like a 15-hour day. And, you know, last night, because Cody said, no, we didn't really get to see the sunset when we were eating the snow cones, that it wasn't as pretty as it is on their side of the island. So he said, can we stop? And this was after we had been hiking and everything else all day. And we also went to that big swap meet. So we were really shopping that day too. We did a bunch of things. And so we were like, oh, we're good. We're good. We can go back now. We have laundry to do. We have to get ready to pack. And because of Cody, we were like, okay, Cody wants to see the sunset. Let's do the sunset. And Cody is Danielle Butler's son, who just graduated high school, What a nice kid. Oh my gosh. And so helpful, during the hike and everything like that. And so much fun. My favorite part of the hike was that they had this Hawaiian chant playing. And then Joe, Danielle's boyfriend, was singing to it. He is a native Hawaiian. And it was just so awesome and cool. I loved it so much. And so anyway, we pull over for Cody. Kylie, her 12-year-old daughter, who is the best, the brightest spirit you've ever seen, wanted to swim with me one more time before we left. And so she and I took a dip in the ocean one more time as the sun was coming down. Everybody else is having snacks in the back of the pickup truck, and Joe was going around and digging crabs, and then hermit crabs and real crabs and things with his bare hands out of the sand miraculously. And we're all just taking pictures and relaxing and just having a blast. So we just want to put out to you guys, yes, we are working it, and we're working hard, and we're doing a lot, and everybody's worried about if we're tired. Yes, we do get tired. We took some really good naps on the plane today. Cassie's not feeling well, so she's blowing her nose all over the place. And but still, you know what? We relaxed on the plane, and guess what? We are only 47 miles from Vegas right now. So I'm telling you, I don't see rest coming too soon for us, because we're doing Vegas, we're doing Utah, we're going back to Vegas, and it's going to be amazing. And we are going to be poolside and doing some work tomorrow, so don't worry about us. We're getting a little rest, but we're in it. We're in it for the long haul, and we are coming up. Wednesday, it's going to be halfway for us. So get ready for our celebration on Wednesday night. Definitely need some champagne. So hoping that we're encouraging you to get out there and do something you've never done before, because it's rewarding. Live a little, do something that excites you, do something that feels good, and that's it. We'll talk to you soon. Remember, you motivate me. I'm Lynette Renda, and this is
Chelsea Rathy, soon to be Chelsea Sitzman.
And
Cassie Hunter.
And I talk to you, 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 and we love, and we hate, and we demonstrate, we try to relate. This is my breakthrough. Whoa. Said now, this my breakthrough. Whoa. Oh man, this my breakthrough.